The Up and Adam Show is sponsored by the Topflix app. Discover your next favorite movie and TV series and where to stream it. Explore trending titles, popular trailers, entertainment news, and much more, all in one free app. Download it on the App Store today for free. Thank you and enjoy the video.
This is Adam Lupus coming at you from the Up and Adam Show. Guys, I want to just get right into it because you guys know I'm a big lover of the mob movie genre, and you guys know my top three has to be the movie Goodfellas. I talked about it many times on the podcast and on my mob podcast with Mafia Chronicles, the podcast called What Do You Hear, What Do You Say? And today, guys, we have a very special guest because he was actually in the movie Goodfellas. He played young Henry Hill, and I'm very excited to talk about the movie and about what he's doing now and many great topics, guys. Please welcome Chris Serrone. Chris, how are you, man?
Hey, Adam, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. Living the COVID dream.
Oh, yeah, that's it, man. Hey, but it's crazy. We were just talking before we got on that I was saying I love your outfit, man. It's I love the hat. It's looking very Italian.
I thank my mom and dad for that, I guess. But yeah, I love clothing. My wife will tell you I probably spend more time in the mall than she does.
I try to as well. I've been shopping a lot, so.
You know what? There's worse ways we can spend our money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, especially for guys like us that are in front of the camera from time to time,
yeah,
it's a very good excuse to shop.
I gotta buy more jackets, though. This is probably the only one I have at the moment. I grew out of everything else.
I tell you what, one of my favorite things in the world is sports coats.
Oh, really?
I love, dude. I can get lost. You put me in department stores or something to that effect, and I'm a happy camper. But next time I go upstate, you drive down from Ontario.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll do some shopping.
Yeah, you gotta teach me, man. I'm not the biggest. I love clothes, but I don't have the best sense of style, as you can tell. This funky.
I think you look great. I think you look great. Stop it.
Come on, don't I look good? Like my shoes, are they great? Come on.
You look like what are you talking about? You look like a gangster.
Hi, Mom. What do you think? Look at my shoes. Aren't they great?
My God, you look like a gangster.
Thank you, man. Chris, honestly, man, so I want to say it's a pleasure to have you on. And of course, I mentioned that you were in the classic gangster film Goodfellas. And, it's so crazy because you were in that movie when you were a young kid. You were 13 years old, I believe, 13, 14. And sorry?
12.
Oh, you were 12, actually. Okay, well, even younger. Yeah, that's crazy. And I want to just know, first off, like, how was it being a young kid doing a movie like that, of that caliber? Like, how was that for you, even just to be a part of everybody?
I will say that my youth probably prevented me from getting too overwhelmed, as odd as that may sound. I was too young to know the caliber of Robert De Niro, too young to know the caliber of a Martin Scorsese. I knew they were somebody, but not fully, so to speak. So I show up, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, so to speak, and I was very fortunate in the sense that everybody took me under their wing.
Yeah.
I was affectionately known on the set as the kid. And everybody started calling me that on and off the set, to the point where when Paul Sorvino introduces me to, De Niro for the first time, he says, "Here, we want you to meet the kid Henry."
I'd like you to meet the kid Henry. How you doing? Pleasure. Thank you. All right, keep coming.
Yeah, so it kind of stuck with you.
It was subliminal in his mind at that point.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. And like, when you were a kid in that film, at first you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, this is such a fun experience. It's a good time, because again, working with these actors, and especially Martin Scorsese, like they're at the top, man. And these people are great, amazing people from what I've heard. But besides that, did being an actor is a lot of work. Okay. And I mentioned to you on the phone, like I'm starting to get into it myself a bit now. And, when you were in that movie, I guess, did you kind of realize to yourself, like, wow, this is a lot harder work than I thought?
Not at the time, I'd be honest, because at the time I was a kid in a candy store. You couldn't get me to go home if you told me to go home.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be there. I wanted to see everything. I wanted to be a part of everything. I wanted to experience everything. But I'd be honest, we were working 12, 16-hour days
Yeah.
back to back. I mean, that's just the nature of the business. But when you're doing what you love, Adam, you don't get what tired? No, you need a couple more hours. Let's go. We can go all night.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm not the young man I used to be, and I can still do those hours. I just finished filming where we were doing 12, 14-hour shoots outdoors because that's the COVID loop.
That's it. Yeah.
Easier to film outdoors during COVID than indoors. Less,
I guess because the what's it called, the circulation of the air.
Yeah, it's open air. We're not indoors. So I was very fortunate to pull off a couple films, and they did. They used the loopholes to our advantage. So most of this film, like 80% of the film, was filmed outdoors.
Oh wow. Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, even the films you've been doing recently, you said you've been doing it outside. Isn't it pretty cold where you are, especially if you were doing it back in December and January? Eh?
Well, at the time it was October into November in upstate New York.
So I guess pretty cold then, eh?
So it was chilly, to say the least. I had a couple scenes where I was without a shirt on outdoors, and
that must have been fantastic.
Oh, dude, I thanked my director and producer every opportunity they gave me. Don't worry. I made my producer hold the blanket for me while I was standing there. I'm like, you know what? You hold the blanket.
Yeah, might as well. But you know what they say though? They say that sometimes going out with a shirt in cold is actually good for your body. I actually just heard about that recently.
It was quite invigorating.
Yeah, apparently wakes you up. Apparently doing it for like 20 minutes in the morning. Like I have a friend who does it like every morning. Not like in the pure winter, but when it's like fall or like close to winter, he'll go outside 20 minutes shirtless and just go for a walk.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how my neighbors would appreciate me walking around topless, but
hey, it looks like you got a nice body though. So
Oh no! Are you kidding? My wife's cooking has definitely helped me put some pounds on.
Yeah, that's the Italian life, man.
But you know what? She's awesome. She's one of the home chefs that can literally take a recipe online.
Yeah.
And by the time dinner's ready, it looks like how the picture looked online. I mean, she's just amazing. So
that's awesome.
But no, I need to get my summer body back here.
Hey, it's coming on, man. You gotta start doing it now. Oh, that's funny, man. But it's crazy just to hear about your passion for movies, man. It's nice to see that you didn't even care to be there for 12, 14-hour days. And that shows how passionate you were to be a part of filmmaking, being an actor. But being like that actor, young Henry Hill, it was a crucial character, a crucial part in the movie. What did you learn from playing that character?
Going into Goodfellas, I had no real acting training. I had never had an acting class, never had an acting coach, nothing of that extent.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I did whatever research I could do on what I thought would be expected of me. Mind you, at a 12-year-old's level, I couldn't go out and rent The Godfather and just watch it straight through. I was only 12.
Yeah.
My parents did give me a little leeway with certain things, but a lot of it was like, in certain points. But when I got the script, I just said, well, it sounds like, a kid, experiencing things for the first time. So I said, dude, you know what? I said, in the back of my mind, I said, try not to overdo anything.
Yeah.
Just try to be not to sound cliche, but just be natural.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to force anything. I didn't want to, the worst thing I think you can do as an actor is come across as you're acting.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't seem natural,
Right. When you like my wife and I, we love Ozarks. We're in the process of rewatching it again.
Mhm.
and we just sit back and we're in awe at the level of acting. It's wonderful when you can lose yourself in someone's performance.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I did that, but to answer your question, I just try to be as bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I mean, a lot of it was a first for me too, so I just approached it as that.
It's I guess when you were a kid, the cool thing about what your role was that, and kind of adding on to what you said, is that you just didn't want to overdo it, so you essentially just acted like a kid. Your character, again, they made you drive the Cadillacs, right? They made you do all these cool things. So I guess it's kind of like Inception in a way. You're an actor being in a big movie, but in the movie you were doing the things that all the big guys were doing, right? So it's like, what I'm trying to say?
No, I totally get it. So here I am, this kid. I can't even see over the steering wheel, and I'm parking Cadillacs, which is a pretty incredible thing.
Wise guys would pull up and Tootie would toss me their keys and let me park their Cadillacs. I mean, here I am, this little kid, I can't even see over the steering wheel, and I'm parking Cadillacs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, here I am, this kid, and I'm parking Cadillacs, but in real life, you know what I mean? So I totally get.
Exactly.
So my youth was probably spent a little differently than most. Most of my friends were playing Little League and soccer, baseball, football, basketball, what have you. And I was learning how to drive in the Queens Hall of Science parking lot on a 1950 Cadillac, because that's what was going to be expected of me.
Yeah.
Doing the film. So I spent my summer learning how to drive instead of playing baseball. Or as at Queens, we played handball.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just shoot. I probably still have the palms from it.
I love handball.
But,
I'm not too good at it, but I used to play a bit too in elementary school.
Well, I wouldn't be able to keep up nowadays, but in my youth, I tell you, I was a force to be reckoned with.
Hey, Chris, listen, I'm a skinny guy, and people think I have a lot of stamina. If I had to race you, you would definitely win. I get out of breath walking up the stairs sometimes. That's not normal for a 22-year-old.
No, I think you need to watch your diet. I think you need to eat a little better.
I need to eat more and better. That's the thing. It's a fast metabolism problem.
You got to get those pills, Balance in Nature.
I got to get these things called. Have you heard of human growth hormones?
Oh, sure. Hey, so long as you ain't playing baseball, you're probably all right.
That's it. As long as I'm not playing sports.
Even if you are playing baseball, it's probably still all right.
Oh my God. Hey, as long as I'm not getting any needles anywhere, you know what I mean? Anywhere that is inappropriate. That's it.
There you go.
Oh my God. Yeah, but and I was just mentioning when we first started the episode that me and Justin have our own podcast. I don't know if I mentioned it to you before, the What Do You Hear, What Do You Say podcast, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. No,
yeah.
One of the best pages, and I mean this, is Justin's page, Martin Scorsese. Great content, great little tidbits, a lot of posts you don't see on other pages.
Good variety.
And he's a genuine guy too. So
he's the best. He runs my page and takes care of my show. So he's a fantastic guy. And I'm glad he got to connect us, right? And
he connected me with a few people throughout the years, and everybody he's brought my way has just been a class act, and yourself included, of course.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's a great guy, and every time we talk about it, we're gonna get to Goodfellas on our show eventually too, right? When we do our podcast episode for me and Justin. But because we want to save the best for last, of course, right? But
of course,
yeah. But it's just crazy because that movie, it's been 31 years, okay, and that movie is still talked about to this day, and it's because it has so many iconic scenes. And to name a few, you have the funny house scene, you have the go get your effing shine box, you got. Basically, all the ones with Joe Pesci are all
the anything with Joe Pesci in it. Yeah, no, I feel you. I sit back. I don't watch it often. I'm not. It's just one of those things. Not as often as the wife would like. My wife Courtney's, Chris, can we watch it? I'm like, oh, babe, not tonight.
And you don't like watching yourself, right? Or is it?
Well, I think most actors are that way.
Yeah, they don't like. They feel it's like I don't want to watch my. Yeah.
You tend to be your own worst critic at that.
Yeah.
But you know, Goodfellas, it is a mob film, but the more you watch it, the more it becomes a comedy. You know, and then if you grew up a certain way, it's almost a family movie. If you grew up a certain way,
It's definitely
and
a
I don't
family.
even,
It's a Christmas movie too. It's a Christmas movie as well.
you know, it's funny. I hear a lot of people tell me that through the years that, oh, every Christmas my family gets together and watches Goodfellas.
That's what I do.
And I'm like, are you kidding? It's a Wonderful Life, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty, and Goodfellas. I said, babe, that's a winner. You can't, you know. But no, it is. It's so many different things to different people. I think that's why it's to this day it's as relatable and as popular as it is.
Yeah. So the scenes that you weren't in, I'm just curious to know, were you still there watching it being filmed?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As I said before, you know, they had to tell me, Chris, you know, you can go home. No, I kid. No, but I did. I would. It wasn't that type of thing where, oh, you know, you're not filming today, so you can't be here today.
Yeah.
You know, you could show up at your leisure and do what you wanted.
Yeah.
My mom. It was actually my mom and I. My dad worked a lot. My father used to say his three favorite things in life was my mom and I, overtime, and the New York Mets. And then he would say no particular order.
Yeah.
That was my pop. But and that's what it was, you know. So my mom, and it was mostly my mom and I. My grandmother came to the set a few times. It really was a family, you know. I think New York film is a lot different from LA film.
Yeah.
You know, just the genetic makeup of it. New York film actors tend to be, you know, we'll still take a cab and hop a subway.
Yeah.
You know, not a big deal, you know, versus the entourage of Bentleys and the big sunglasses, you know, that you can't see nothing.
One's louder and one's more quiet, I guess. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, not necessarily in the way you would think.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people would say maybe the East Coast would be a little louder, but I think, you know, I think in our genre, we tend to be a little bit more, you know, the nature of the genre is hush hush.
Yeah, and it's funny, you know, being Italian too, you know, because everyone on the set is predominantly Italian, right? So it's probably so loud anyways, you know? It's very loud regardless.
Oh, dude, but I love it. But yet you hear everything.
Yes, and it's all good stuff. And that's why I talk about this with my friends as well, because a lot of them are Italian, and it's just the values that Italians have. Not to like shame any other culture, because everybody has their own type of thing. But
of course,
being Italian myself, right? I noticed that it's about family, and I'm sure you know Martin Scorsese. That's what he tried to do essentially, is to create like this family with the movie. And I guess that's how you bring out the best in the actors. That's how you bring trust. Because I again, like, who wouldn't trust them anyways? But it's like, you know, that's how you build that trust and that connection. And the fact that you got to witness all those scenes and you got to be there when they were filming and stuff, it's so cool. Did you have a favorite scene? Did you have a favorite scene? No worries. Did you have a favorite scene of the movie, or?
Geez, you know, I have a couple. But if you had to ask me my absolute favorite scene, I think it has to be when Ray takes Karen out for the first time, and they do that one steady shot through the Copa.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'll see you later. Thanks.
What are you doing? You're leaving your car?
Watch the car for me. It's easier than leaving it at a garage and waiting. It's a lot quicker that way. You know what I mean? Huh?
Oh yes, and you see Vinny Pastore with the coats and stuff.
You know, it's just classic. He starts outside. They go through the side entrance, go through the little tunnel, come through the kitchen. He knows everybody. It's just a great scene. Then, mind you, when he actually gets to the Copa, you know, through the kitchen and all, the guy's like, hey, you know, Henry, and they bring out a table, and I don't know, there's something about that scene. It's very cool scene.
Yeah.
And then I like the scene where De Niro decides to whack Maury.
Oh, that guy was so funny.
Wasn't he awesome? You know, that place really did exist on Queens Boulevard. Maury's wig shop.
It was actually called Maury's Wigs?
No, it wasn't called Maury's Wigs. It was like what do you want to call it? Like a barber salon shop.
No, I
But it
didn't know
was
that.
yeah, right there on Queens Boulevard. I grew up in Queens.
Yeah.
So but it was right there on Queens Boulevard.
That's so no, it's funny. Maury was so the scene like when see, and this is why filmmaking is so cool in acting. The scene when De Niro pulls the cord around his neck and he's like, "Where's that money?" That scene, right? When his wig comes off, was that supposed to happen or?
Could have dropped the dime a million times,
Come on,
and then I wouldn't have to pay
Maury,
tax.
call the cops. You're talking crazy. Stop it now, will you?
Listen, you got money for that fucking commercial, you know? Fucking commercial. You don't got my money? You don't got my fucking money, huh?
Jimmy, he's gonna pay.
Fucking kid, he's gonna pay the money. You fucking cocksucker. You hear me? Pay me my money. Sorry, baby.
He'll pay.
Maurice.
No, that was, you know what, we as actors, we have a name for that. We call those happy accidents.
Yeah, so that was an accident. Right?
That was a happy accident. That was the epitome of one. Sometimes, you know, you never do a scene just once. It's very rare. You know, you have editing, you know, the sound didn't pick up for some reason, the lighting was off. So, you know, you go through it once or twice.
Yeah.
Sometimes the actors will even say, you know, that just didn't feel right. Can I do that again?
Yeah, of course.
So during the process of that scene, you know, 3-4 takes, that happened. Obviously, that was the one to go with. That was the keeper.
That was so funny. I'm like, and I think in my head, like, that, I don't know, because you think to yourself, it's so well done. Like, was that planned? Like, who knows, right? Like,
and it's, well, no, if you notice, Ray's reaction is perfect. He just like busts out laughing because it was like, oh shit, was that, you know, but it worked. Excuse my mouth, but it worked.
And Ray's laugh too, that iconic, that like that.
He
laugh
definitely has a memorable laugh.
Oh, that's so funny, man. That's so cool. I love. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, mob movie and movie in general of all time. So it's so cool to just share these stories together and hear your side of it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing to me that 30 years later, young men like yourself are so, you know, such fans of it. And, you know, that's kind of like your dad's movie, but the fact that you love it, it just, you know, it's very flattering, very humbling. You know, people ask me all the time, you know, how has Goodfellas affected you? How has Goodfellas, you know, influenced your life? And
yeah,
you know, the one thing that I honestly can say is I can't imagine my life had Henry Hill not lived his.
That's deep. That's very true.
But if you think about it, since the age of 12, Goodfellas has been interwoven part of me. You want to laugh? You like show and tell?
Yeah.
So when you know, I knew Henry, and I know I'm still friendly with his widow, Lisa.
Okay.
And I have probably the second largest collection of Henry Hill artifacts.
No.
Oh yeah. So
yeah, you gotta show a couple, man.
I'll just show you. I'll just give you guys at home a little something. Okay, so here's you remember the Tampa Zoo?
Oh yeah. So that's signed by him?
That's signed by Henry. Remember they hanged the guy over the lion cage?
Yeah, but that's so cool. Holy.
But I also have one of Henry's original paintings.
That is amazing.
Him at the Tampa Zoo. I think, yeah, you can kind of see the lion here.
So Henry used to paint, eh?
Oh, well, he was an avid painter. Here's another one of his paintings.
Wow.
I don't go get your F and shine box.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh man, that's so awesome.
Henry the rat.
Do you have the one when the dog goes one way, the dog goes the other way?
No, so you know that's actually the guy that wrote the book, Nick Pileggi. He wrote the book Wise Guy.
Nick Pileggi, yeah.
His mother actually painted that picture.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that unfortunately I do not have.
Oh, okay, but those are awesome. That's so cool to have.
That's Henry's AARP card.
What's AARP?
AARP. It's like for senior citizens.
Oh, so
The-
but you have his. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's his card. Well, this is good. I have a ticket out of LA for an open container of beer.
Oh man.
And then,
Because you guys are friends. She gave them to you, eh?
oh yeah, I have his watch, I have his lighter, I have his suit, I have Henry likes Kangol style hats like myself. So I have
what are they called? Because I have a couple of those too.
Kangol.
Okay, yeah.
He liked this type of hat too, so I have a couple of his hats. She thought I would get a kick out of this, but that's a copy of his medical marijuana card.
You can actually imagine you go using it. It's like, hey, can I get some? It's like, you're Henry Hill. It's like, yeah, I was the kid Henry.
Oh yeah. It's funny, but I do. I wondered if I could, but I probably could. They would ask for my ID and it would have matched, but I was fortunate. I mean, I have, and then like even from the set of Goodfellas.
Oh, the Palmas, yeah. No, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I wish I had taken more.
Oh man, but is that just is that like an unopened carton?
Yeah, so these were the prop cartons they were using.
Oh, it was props. Oh, I thought it was actually real.
No, well, I mean, real enough.
Yeah, no, it looks, yeah. That's from the set, eh?
Yeah, mind you, these are 31 years old, and
it's a good. I was gonna say it's a great shape though, man.
Well, what I did through moving, I just flattened them down, but they're still. I mean, like, you can still.
Yeah, like it's not scratched. Like it looks like it's brand new. The material of it.
And you can still take the and form the carton itself.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. It looked like you just got it like recently again, because I'm like, wow, it looks like it's not even smudged, not like creased, nothing.
Oh well, I've been a baseball card collector, coin collector, antique book collector my whole life. So I've always known how to store things properly, out of sunlight, no moisture.
Yeah. So. And speaking of all that too, like about baseball and everything, and you mentioned you're a big Mets fan. And
I was actually right before COVID hit for my birthday, the Mets had me come out. I got to go on the field, got to meet the team. They put my scenes from Goodfellas up on the Jumbotron.
On the Jumbotron, yeah, you were telling me. That's so cool.
It was amazing, dude. This is the team I grew up in Queens. I grew up a Mets fan.
Yep.
In '86, I cried when we won the World Series. And here I am on my dad and I's favorite team's Jumbotron,
That is so cool. And I never watched baseball growing up, but to hear your love for it, it's truly inspiring, and to know that they recognized you and you got to be a part of that, and like that must have been a dream come true for you. What else would you want to do if you could with the Mets? Like I think you mentioned one time you would want to do the pitch for them or something.
Yeah. So if I ever had a lifelong dream of mine was to be able to throw out the first pitch for the New York Mets. My dad and I were huge Met fans.
Yeah.
I've been to 86 playoff games. My dad was at Shea in 69, game 5. Just wonderful memories. And my dad passed away, unfortunately. My dad and I went to the last game at Shea. And then we had tickets to opening day at Citi Field, but my dad passed in between. So we never made it. But I always said, if I ever get to throw out the first pitch, I have my dad's Met hat that I'm going to wear. And then I had an official Mets jersey made up with our last name and his birth year. So if I ever get to throw out the first pitch, it won't just be me there on the mound that day.
You and your dad.
It'd be me and my pop. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, he'd be proud of you, man. Looking down proud,
Absolutely. Mind you, there's something to be said about a father and son in baseball.
Yeah.
There's there's some kind of phenomenon that happens there.
Like that connection, you mean, right?
Absolutely.
Well, like it's like that movie Sandlot, right? It's like, I mean, even though that was his stepfather,
Field of Dreams.
Or Field of Dreams. There you go, right? It's something about it. You're right. And even just
there's some kind of passion, love affair, bond. My wife, thank you. See, she knows me. She that's Courtney. When I say the better half, it's
Tell her I
really
say hi.
just she Adam says hello. It's really just her. That's good.
But you're absolutely right, and it's like even I'm sure as a kid you played catch with your father, like just that
Every
bond.
day.
It's a simple thing. It's like something about baseball, yeah, because it's not like you wouldn't say to someone, "Oh, my dad and I we used to kick the soccer ball together," or "My dad and I used to play basketball." You said, "My dad and I used to play catch." Like catch is a baseball, yeah.
Absolutely. Not to sound cliche, but it really is America's pastime.
Mhm.
And, I grew up in New York, and sports is huge in New York City, basketball, football, baseball, everything. But for me, it was always baseball.
Yeah.
Mind you, my first dream was to be the center fielder for the Mets.
Really?
Yes. My daughter's first words was Yoenis Cespedes.
What's that?
He's the center fielder for the Mets.
Oh shit! That was her first sentence, eh?
During that time, Yoenis Cespedes hits a home run. The next time he comes up to bat, just happens to be she needs to be fed and the diaper changed, so she goes to the bathroom. He hits another home run.
Wow.
So the third time he comes up, I say, "Babe, you need to take London."
Take away. She's like, come on, I already fed her, already changed. I don't have to do it. No, just go.
Do it. Sure enough, he hits a triple.
Oh man.
The fourth time he comes up in that game, I say, "Babe, please." She's like, "Chris, I don't understand what the hell you're doing. Why are you doing this to me? I don't want to get up." I said, "Babe, this is superstition in baseball. When you do something and something good happens, you have to
keep doing it, yeah."
She gets up. I kid you not, Yoenis Cespedes broke a major league record that night by driving in 8 RBIs in one game.
And was that luck or what? Or was it? I don't know.
I think it's because Courtney and London had to go to the bathroom every time. That's what helped him.
I mean, like, I believe in that type of stuff through those superstitions, but hey, it's true.
Now, mind you, so that's why my daughter London's first words were Yoenis Cespedes, as in the center fielder for the Mets.
That's awesome. That's a funny story.
Yeah. My kids have little jerseys that say the Mets. It has our last name, Cerrone. My eldest daughter is number 1. And her younger sister's number 2.
They randomly go.
So 1 and 2.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah. And it's funny, whenever baseball's on, they associate baseball with the Mets.
Yeah.
So they'll just randomly scream out "Go Mets."
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're gonna teach them to be like big.
They're smart. They already know.
They love it.
They keep asking me if there are other baseball teams in New York, and I'm like, I can't remember.
I just can't put my finger on it. I don't know.
I think there may be another team in the Bronx, but
what would you want if they came home and they go, "Hey, Dad, I love that other team in New York."
We'd have to have a long talk.
Be like, "Hey, listen, guys, sit down. What happened? Was something bad happen? Yeah, listen, I don't know if I can talk to you anymore." Oh, that'd be so funny, man. I actually wanted to go over some questions before we end off the show.
Yeah.
I posted on Instagram. I saw that you saw the picture of it.
Yeah.
And some of my followers had some questions for you. So just wanted to kind of hear your take on them. So first one is from Justin from Off Your Chronicles. And he said, what was it like working with Martin Scorsese?
Well, Martin is an incredible man. Aside from being a director, he's also an incredible people person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first time I went in to read an audition in front of him after I got through a few callbacks, I go in and I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous. And he picked up on that right away.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Chris," he goes, "let me ask you, how many times have you been in that chair reading these lines?" And I said, "Oh, Mr. Scorsese, maybe 10 times. He said, "Come on, you've done this a million times already. No worries, this is doing." And with that, the little butterflies melted away. And, 3-4 more callbacks and auditions, and the rest is history. Mm-hmm. One night in particular, the night I blew up the cars, it's about 2:30 in the morning. We're going on 12 hours of filming. And he says, Chris, you know, I know it's late. Is there anything I can get for you? Anything you need? Mind you, I'm 12. I'm 12.
Yeah.
And I say, I'd love some cannolis. And he said, cannolis? I said, yeah, I'd love some cannolis. He said, okay. He goes, give us 20 minutes more. We're going to change the film. And
Yeah.
I said, okay. So we do the take. Boom, boom, boom. It's about an hour later. He calls me over. He says, here you go, Chris. He hands me a white box with the little red and white string.
The string around it.
The little pastry box string.
Yeah, yeah.
And he says, here's your cannolis. The bottom of the box was warm.
Oh, so they were fresh.
I don't know. It must pay to be Martin Scorsese, but I had 12 freshly baked cannolis at 3:30 a.m.
Didn't that hurt your stomach? Didn't you get a little bit agitated or what?
Are you kidding? No way, man. At 12, I polished probably at least 7 or 8 of them off that night, and I was fine. But to answer your question, Justin, that's the type of director Martin Scorsese was for me, anyway.
That's a great story, man. Holy. This one's kind of similar, I guess, of a question, but this one comes in from my friend Ellen, bestmovies.s. I think she follows you as well.
Yeah, and I follow her back. Yeah,
yeah, she's great.
Another really good page.
She's amazing, yeah. And she said the best memory from set.
Ooh, best memory from set. That's a hard. My wife just said that's a good question, but you know what? That's a hard question. Not one that I've been asked a lot, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, you know, it's always, what was it like working with Gennaro? What was it like knowing Joe Pesci? But no one ever really asked, my fondest, my best. I think when good question, Ellen. Good question, Ellen.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. There's no rush.
No, I got it. So when my particular part wrapped, when Young Henry Hill was done after my last take, and they said, this is a wrap for the kid Henry, everybody applauded, and De Niro, Bobby, as he would make you say, please call me Bobby. It's still weird to say Bobby. I want to say Mr. De Niro.
Yeah.
But Bobby, gave me a hug, and Paulie broke out into song. Paul Sorvino's an amazing opera singer. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
There's a great movie. My wife is going to be happy I mentioned it, but it's called The Cooler.
Cooler? No, I never heard
The Cooler. It's an older film, but it's about a Las Vegas casino. Alec Baldwin, William H. Macy. You know who else is in it? Well, Paul Sorvino, obviously, but isn't Johnny Rosebeef's not in that one, right? No, that's okay. So, but Maria Bello
from
Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
No.
Okay, anyway, I can't remember the movie either, but Coyote Ugly, that's the one. The blonde bar owner, she was in it too. But Paul Sorvino plays a Las Vegas lounge singer, and you can really hear his voice. He doesn't sing in a lot of his films, but he gives a great performance and he sings. But he broke out into song, and everybody just kind of, it was almost like you broke your cherry.
Oh, you broke your cherry, yeah.
Oh, you broke your cherry.
But I'll be honest, I kind of got a little choked up because I knew that was the end.
Yeah.
And then just by, it was like that. Everybody came around, hugs on me, and nice. Like you broke it was awesome. So I would have to say that. Mind you, I haven't been stumped like that in a while.
Ellen, good job. You really stumped them on that one. But it's cool that you had a hard time thinking about it though. That means that you had a lot of great memories. That's what makes it interesting.
There were so many. I could do 100 films and I'll probably never revisit the experience of Goodfellas.
Of course.
And nothing against the 100 films that I may do, but you'll never have that cast of characters. And I say that because, everybody in their own right was this giant of an actor. And if they weren't, they were on their road to becoming one.
Of course, yeah, exactly. That was
a lot of great talents came out of Goodfellas. Samuel L. Jackson.
From Goodfellas? No.
He played Stax.
Wait, what? I don't remember.
Stax. Remember he gets shot in the back of the head?
Oh yes, I totally forgot that was him. Yeah, the part when Joe
You'd
Pesci
be
comes
late
in.
to your own fucking funeral.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, when what's it called? The guy with the eyebrow. Was it Frankie making the coffee, and then Joe Pesci shoots Samuel Jackson, right?
Yes.
The fuck you looking at? Come on, make that coffee to go. Let's go. The fuck you doing? It's a joke. Put the fucking pot down. You gotta take the coffee.
So that's Frankie.
Thank you. I almost forgot. Jeez.
Mind you, there's another great talent, Frank Cerrone.
Yes.
The guy that played Frank Carbone, he, Godfather, Goodfellas.
Personality. Mean Young Gordon is a personality.
Don't forget, he was in Wedding Singer.
I forgot. I haven't watched Wedding Singer in so long.
You got to see it. He plays a great part in that too. But we had Debbie Mazar, of course, Ray Liotta, of course, Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah.
And then, it's unfortunate that we didn't get the Academy acclaim that it should have gotten, but at least Joe got his.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the best speech of all time. It was my privilege. Thank you. That's it. The best 5 words. I think it was my privilege. Thank you. Okay, 6 words.
Dude, you know what? That would be, if I'm ever, but that would be me. I'm not going to be that guy that when the music comes on. No.
You're just quick. Thank you.
You're not going to hear all this big political speech or. Thank you. Remember when De Niro tips me 20 for the drink?
Yeah. Keep
when
it coming.
I say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. That'd be me. Thank you.
That'd be you. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. You did it. You did it better than I did.
Hey, well, like I said, I'm trying to become an actor. So, next question. We have 2 more actually. 3 more. My girlfriend said, "Who was the nicest person on set?" That might be a hard one too.
That's another hard one. Everybody really did take me under their wing, but if I had to say someone who went out of their way, I would say Paul Sorvino.
Okay.
Paulie was just this teddy bear of a guy, and he had like this magnetic quality to him. And I say that with him being around some of the other giants, But Paulie was great. Paulie was just so nice. Always said good morning. Always said goodbye. Talked to my mom a few times. Just really, really awesome. Chris, are we good? Are we ready? The little things. When he walked by, he would put his hand on my shoulder, like, come on, we're gonna do this again now. Like little positive reassurances.
You wouldn't think that because and that's what makes him a great actor, because he played such a feared character, and you looked at him like in the movie, you thought, wow, like scared, like you don't want to mess with this guy, but he's exactly. It's kind of like James Gandolfini in Sopranos. You look at him and go, wow. But then I was talking to Lilo Brancato, who played Matthew Bevilacqua, right? And he was telling me, no, like he's a teddy bear, man. He was so nice and generous of a man. So it's cool, like how everybody in that, again, I guess maybe it goes back to the Italian culture and how we are as people. But that's exactly it.
And Lilo's a good guy too. I know Lilo.
Great guy.
We do shows every now and again together. I just don't compare muscles with him anymore because he always wins.
Oh, that guy, he's pretty big, man.
He's a beast.
He's a beast, man.
No, but he's another one. He's another guy that, to look at him, he may seem intimidating, but he's another teddy bear.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Mind you, I'm sure I'll piss him off, I'm sure, but he's a
of course.
Paul Sorvino by far, just a great guy, and just the way he would smile at you, he would,
That's incredible, man. Next one, of course. How was it like working with De Niro?
De Niro is great. He's the consummate professional.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a guy spend more time in his own head,
mm-hmm.
but that's what he does. He's he'll be in his trailer or in a chair, and you'll watch him, and you could just see wheels turning. You can almost hear the wheels turning. Again, not to sound cliche, but
mm-hmm. He's getting so into his character.
The thought process. I mean, you can almost see the change happening, and he's an amazing method actor.
Oh, Raging Bull too, for example. He got into that character a lot. He gets into his characters all the time. But Goodfellas, I loved him.
What do you think his best role is, though? Out of all his films, what's your favorite?
I say Raging Bull.
Why?
Really?
Yeah.
See, Raging Bull's up there, but I want to say one of two other ones, and they're not as most popular.
This Boy's Life.
Well, my wife says This Boy's Life.
Oh, he was fantastic. He scared me in that, man.
What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is it empty? What? Is it empty?
Yeah. Or how about Cape Fear?
You know what? I didn't like that movie that much.
I tell you, that guy was a psycho. The way he transformed his body, everything. And
he was great, but the movie was a little. It's.
How about Awakenings?
Oh, with Robin Williams. Love that movie. No, he should have got De Niro should have got an Oscar for that movie. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that movie.
Oh, and my wife interjects Men of Honor.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
That's a good one with Cuba Gooding Jr.
I haven't seen that, but Awakenings is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Awakenings, that is a great movie. One of his, I don't even think half of his fans have seen Awakenings. It's a very, very little known film. Mind you, you had two phenomenal performances, Robin Williams and Robert De Niro.
Fantastic actors. They're great. And that movie, thank you for reminding me. I totally almost forgot about that, but it's a great movie. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, he's a great actor, man. This is a good question. What was life after Goodfellas? Like, what were some things that you did after Goodfellas?
Life after Goodfellas was a whirlwind. I was getting auditions for the bigger films. There's a little known, I call it the story of Chris Squared. Mm-hmm. And basically, I auditioned for a movie. It comes down to me and another actor.
Mm-hmm.
So the two of us. The name of the movie, Acceptable Woman. The other actor, Christian Bale. Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell, yes. So Al Pacino, Chris O'Donnell, yeah.
I actually met Al Pacino and we did a table read for the film. I actually was lucky enough to have that experience.
No way.
That's how, like as I said, it came down to Chris Serrone and Chris O'Donnell.
Oh man.
I auditioned for a film. It comes down to me and another actor. The name of the movie was Newsies.
Okay.
The actor, Christian Bale.
You got to compete against Christian Bale?
It was a Disney film. It came down to me and Christian Bale.
What was it called again?
Newsies. Do you know the 1920s paper boys?
No.
Extra, read all about it. And
I might have heard of it, yeah.
So they were called Newsies because they used to carry the news.
Okay.
So that's what it was about. It was about these kids. I auditioned for a movie. It comes down to me and another guy. The name of the movie, are you ready? Interview with a Vampire. The actor, Christian
Pitt.
Slater. Christian Slater.
Okay. Oh, so they're all Chris's.
I auditioned for a movie. It comes down to me and another guy. The name of the movie, Batman and Robin.
Wait, let me
The
get
character,
Chris O'Donnell.
Robin, Chris O'Donnell.
Oh my God. Wait, maybe, but hold on a sec. Maybe it was good that you weren't in that movie. I don't know. Because
Okay, but so it's funny, but so life after Goodfellas was wild. Like I'm like, right there. But that's why I never gave up on it. That's why, I would do other things. I had a career. I have a wonderful family, but it's not going away. And mind you, I didn't look at it as I didn't get the film. I looked at it as I lost out to a household name, and in some cases, an Academy Award winner.
Yeah. No, are you crazy? That's
No, it's always kept. And and then mind you, there have been other films too that I got, Lord of the Flies, and a few other well-known films.
Yeah.
But I've done a bunch. I was on Brooklyn Bridge with Marion Ross. She was Mrs. Cunningham on Happy Days.
Okay, my parents love Happy Days. Yeah.
So I had 4 episodes of that. I did a World War II film. It's funny. My dad was born on June 6, 1951, and I do a Normandy invasionary story. The year he dies.
Oh wow.
It's kind of like,
but it's kind of like it's coincidental. Weird. It's a lot of coincidental stuff.
He was born on June 6th, and then he passes while I'm filming a movie about what happened on June 6th, D-Day.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
It's just a crazy story, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I like to say my dad helped me finish that film.
That's awesome.
And then actually I've had a little bit of a resurgence during COVID. I just finished doing a horror film.
I saw that. Yep. Like I saw it on your page. I saw it on your page. It's on your page. Yeah.
Right. And then actually you've probably seen it too, Family Feud. It's just about everywhere. It's got just about everyone, myself, William DeMeo. I'm sure you know these. I'm going to all the names, William DeMeo, Paul Borghese.
Yeah.
Artie Pasquale, Bruce Sosa, Tony Darrow.
He was in Tony Darrow. Wasn't he in he was in Goodfellas as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was. Tony Darrow is my buddy. I love him. So as you can see, my one and only vice. But Tony Darrow doesn't smoke unless I'm there. And then he'll come find me. He'll come find me.
Nice little bonding moment. Eh?
Dude, Tony, I love Tony Darrow. It's funny because I didn't get to build a relationship with him until after the fact.
Nah, that's okay. But
I didn't meet him. But I'm glad that I got to meet him.
And now at least you did, right? It's never too late for any of that stuff.
Absolutely.
So that question, by the way, came from my good friend Isaac Williamson. So I just wanted to bring that up for the other question.
Thank you, Isaac. Good question, buddy.
We have one more question, and it comes from. You already answered this, but we'll just so we can reiterate it again. Andy _SH83 says, as far back as you can remember, what did you always want to be? And
it's funny, but we touched on it earlier, and great question, but I played Little League growing up. My dad played single A ball until he hurt his leg. And I love my Mets. If you were to cut me, I would bleed, orange, blue, and pinstripes.
I think you should get that checked out.
I know. Well, I should. I'm having my head checked out as per the wife's request, so I'll put that on the list. But center fielder for the New York Mets.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Chris.
Yeah, that would have been it.
Chris, we had a great time today, man. I'm so happy we got to do this, and I'm glad we got to answer a lot of people's questions. And I hope you had a great time today on the show, man.
Hey, Adam, I don't let just anybody in my house, so you must be all right.
Thank you so much. Awesome, man.
All jokes aside, thank you for having me. It's a great show. I look forward to watching your rise to fame.
Thank you very much.
Every time you watch Goodfellas, take a kid in.
Of course, man. Yeah, and then hopefully one day, if you ever come to Toronto, we'll actually watch the movie together.
Hey, you know what? That sounds like a plan. Like I said, I come up that way a lot.
Yes, you come up to
So-
Buffalo, you said.
Especially now that COVID is, everybody's getting shots in the arm, and
Yeah.
we can get back to normal. I miss seeing people's faces, and I miss
know.
shaking hands. I miss
Absolutely.
going out to dinner.
Hopefully we can get together, man. I would love to hang out.
Adam, I owe you a beer.
Let's do it, man. Absolutely. Thank you
right.
very much once again, Chris.
And thanks for having me, Adam. You have
No
a great
problem.
day, bro.
You too. Take care. All the best.